Hey guys, what's up? It's JRCuber, and in this video I want to talk about the ongoing legal dispute between TheCubicle.us and Rubik's. This has been going on since last October, so I'm sure a lot of you guys know about this, but I'll give a very brief rundown of the situation if you're unaware. So last October, Rubik's sued TheCubicle.us for trademark infringement. Rubik's currently has a number of trademarks that cover the cube and seem to take issue with TheCubicle selling a variety of different 3x3s. So TheCubicle and Rubik's negotiated for several months, but were not able to come to any kind of resolution. Once TheCubicle threatened to file counterclaims, Rubik's dropped the case without prejudice, which basically means that the original case is dropped, but Rubik's can sue again at any time with the same claims. Throughout this entire negotiation process, Rubik's made a bunch of threats to TheCubicle and were basically bullying them into doing what they wanted. So once Rubik's dropped the case, TheCubicle filed its own lawsuit saying that their trademarks were invalid, and as well as a bunch of other stuff that I'm not going to get into in this video. This was done as a self-defense and protective move to stop Rubik's from antagonizing the industry. According to TheCubicle, their confidence in getting a fair agreement with Rubik's was very low. Phil made a much more in-depth video on the whole topic on TheCubicle's YouTube channel, which you can check out in the link in the description down below or in the cards. What this legal dispute has shown is that Rubik's is clearly trying to control speed cubing by attacking the organizations that make it possible. Besides TheCubicle, Rubik's also threatened legal action against Cubing USA because Cubing USA did not choose Rubik's as their sponsor for Nationals last year. The kind of tactics that Rubik's is using really goes against what this community really stands for, which is friendship, collaboration, innovation. All of these things were not at all shown in the October lawsuit. So what does this mean for the cubing community as a whole? If Rubik's wins against TheCubicle, they will most likely go after all of the other US stores, which means that the only stores that will be left will be Chinese stores and other stores outside North America. This will make it much more difficult to get new puzzles since customs will be stricter as well. We would probably see new cube releases slow down quite a bit as well, since not as many people would be able to buy them. In essence, this would kill the North American cubing market and would discourage anyone else from starting a new store based on the precedent that would have been set. Competitions may also get worse due to lack of sponsors and puzzles, since it will become much harder to get new cubing hardware. So on the other hand, what happens if Rubik's does lose their trademark? Well, the absolute biggest thing that I want to stress more than anything else is that this would be a win for the cubing community as a whole, not just for TheCubicle. So it absolutely does not matter which store you support. This really shouldn't have anything to do with that. This would be beneficial to cubing itself. And here's why. First of all, speed cubes would have a much greater chance of making it into retail stores, which would make it much easier for new people to pick up the hobby. Second, more and more sponsors would be able to get into cubing without feeling like Rubik's is looming over them all the time. And third, it would allow more companies and brands to innovate freely without feeling like Rubik's is breathing down their neck. There are a lot of opportunities to grow, and some of this is stifled by fear of legal action. A victory here would let the real innovators in the community shine, instead of the bigger bully corporation that hasn't actually innovated in many years. Another really important thing that I want to touch on too is that TheCubicle has been able to provide jobs to more people than I would have thought possible even just a couple years ago. The loss of this lawsuit poses a direct threat to the livelihoods of quite a few people. This is something that Chris Olsen, who also works for TheCubicle, if you were unaware, touched on in his video on this topic as well, and I think it's really, really important. Additionally, TheCubicle's sponsorship of my channel has been a huge reason as to why I've gotten to where I'm at today. Without their support, who knows what could happen to my channel and all of the other channels that TheCubicle and many other stores have helped grow. This is one of the main reasons why myself and many other people take this so seriously. So this brings me to my main point of the video. Lawsuits are ridiculously expensive. The US legal system in general is just very, very expensive. To get your case heard in a court of law takes a ton of time, resources, and money. So TheCubicle has set up a GoFundMe and has designed a new t-shirt that you can pre-order right now on their website. It will be available in just a few days. All of the funds raised through these methods will go straight to their legal fees. And I just really, really want to encourage you guys to support the GoFundMe especially. Any amount of money you can donate helps, and the more people that support it, the easier it will be to get this dispute over and done with. The links to the GoFundMe and the t-shirt will of course be in the description below as always. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Thanks so much to the people that have supported TheCubicle throughout this entire process. I know this video is much more serious than the types of videos I usually make, but it's a topic that I think is really important to discuss. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.